What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So we are in the midst of a realistic difficulty playthrough and we are here at Food Factory in town. So in the last episode we set off from Goods Factory, we headed up through Oil Well North, up to Food Factory in town. In this episode we're going to head down through Oil Refinery and then up to Machine Factory in town. So I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy this episode. Please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Alright then, so without further ado, we're going to be leaving Food Factory in town. So let's hop aboard. You can see actually we've got one DH4 running and the other one isn't. I think I actually switched that off just when I was trying to diagnose the issue that we were having towards the end of the last episode. So we'll fire this baby back up again. We'll hop back out. And I'll hop in the front one. And yeah, we shouldn't have any problem getting going now. So let's ease the throttle back and release the brakes like that. And there we go. See the oil temp starting to come up, get a bit more power on. The speedometer is also coming up. We can have a little lean out the window here and have a look, make sure our cars are following. Yeah, and there they are, there's the split. So we've left behind the previous order and we're now taking this set of cars on with us to, yeah, Machine Factory in town. And there should be, I believe 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, roughly. Hopefully that's right. Anyway, we'll close the window. Let's get cracking. So, just checking our route again. We are heading out of Machine Factory. We're going to head left through Oil Refinery, right, and then right again. So that's all good. Now, Oil Refinery is a station that's quite complex, and we'll have a look at that now as well. So let's have a look. So there's 3 routes on going through Oil Refinery. You can either go through B Yard, which requires you, sorry, I'll just go through it step by step. So to come in here, ease the throttle up a bit more here. To go through this way and then out through that route would mean going up through that track potentially, because there's probably stuff in these outbound lanes. Go back one. You could also go that way, which is past the station office, and the more scenic route is to take this one down here, and I think that's the one that we're going to take. Track's already set for it, so yeah, why not? I mean, it is more scenic and it does look very pretty because it takes you right through the heart of the oil refinery. And I think that looks pretty awesome. So outside of that, what else are we going to be doing? Well, apart from going through here, we're also going to go past coal power plant. So let's just have a quick look and make sure everything's all right there as well. Click on the right station. So we are going to come up this route and then this switch needs to be set right to take us up to Machine Factory in town. Speaking of Machine Factory in town, keeping one eye on my temperature here. We are going to be heading to C Yard, C4I, so that switch should be set for us. This one will actually take us into C, and C4I is this one here, which hopefully won't have anything in it because it's an incoming lane. So we'll just proceed like as if we're just going to be driving straight into it, which we should be with, yeah, it's 10 cars, sorry. Yeah, absolutely right. So yeah, I was wondering why it looked like 10 actually. It certainly is 10 cars. And yeah, temp's okay there. We could notch it up a little further, to be fair. We are climbing here, so there is that to consider. Speed's starting to come up now. Alright, so we've got the first of our switches coming up. It's saying 50 limit. So we'll just ease back just in case it is going to be less than that. But what a view. Some of the scenery here is absolutely stellar. So we are now here Let's see what the limit is. Not quite there yet. You can hear the cooling fans on though, just trying to cool that engine down a bit. Alright, let's keep it going. Yeah, don't mind a bit of temperature to be fair, especially with the way this DH4 fluctuates. It just tends to go up in temperature, but then does rapidly come down again as soon as you ease off. Alright, we've got a 30 limit, so we're just on 30 there. Just ease off the throttle then, put a little bit back on again. Don't want to be losing too much momentum. Okay, good so far. We're going to go through this tunnel. So we are now just here, heading down to Oil Refinery. 70 limit here. Temp's still on its way up, but we'll get a bit of momentum going and then we'll ease off. So yeah, the other thing is obviously we are going to head downhill at some point because what goes up must come down, so there is always that element. So we'll just ease off the power here. Let the engine temperature come down and get a bit of air there. So we are now on 60, which is the track limit. I'm going to put a little bit of dynamic brake on, which will push the temp up a tiny bit again. Oh, we've got a 50 limit now. Utilising the dynamic brake here just to bring the speed down a little bit. Get ready on the train brake just in case we need it. Last thing I want is for everything to be launched down into that ravine. Alright, 60 limit now, so yeah, absolutely fine. Steady away, steady she goes. And we are coming up to a switch where there's a 40 limit, so let's get a little bit of brake on now. A little bit of dynamic brake on again. Yeah, I couldn't believe it in that last episode. So what happened basically is we'd had dynamic brake on coming into food factory in town, and then I'm going to put a bit more brake on here. And yeah, basically what happened is came to a stop, and I thought I'd fully released the dynamic brake, and I hadn't, which meant that I couldn't do anything else with the train. I didn't realise that it still had one notch of dynamic brake on when we'd stopped, because obviously there's no sound to indicate that it's still on. So that was fun trying to figure that out. But yeah, 50 through here. So this is, like I said, I love this station to be fair. So that's B yard there. We've got a DH4 there. And yeah, the tracks are mainly occupied apart from that one free lane. We could take that one, which will take us past the station office. I'm also on the lookout for demonstrator models. So yeah, we'll have a glance around. But we are now heading basically straight down here. We're going to go right and follow this through the actual refinery itself. Got this lovely little industrial wall here. We're actually going 40 through here. Let me see if I can dash a bit ahead and get a good look at this train as it comes through here. I'm not seeing any demonstrators, although, yeah, we're not really looking in great detail. I mean, I think we'll dedicate an episode or two to actually looking for demonstrators at some point, because there's two left to find. And Here she comes. Get a better view here. So there she is. Cool as a cucumber, as they say. Nice relaxed run through here. We've also got this looping track where you can turn round. Let me see if I can just catch up to our locos again here. Whoa. Put a bit of brakes on. Not to catch. I'd be able to catch up still. She's just. You can hear her screeching a bit there going round. So let's get it back aboard before we have a disaster. Right, let's get some power on. Okay, so we've come out the other side of Oil Refinery and we're now heading downwards to the, we'll be passing the turn off for Forestry Central. One of my favourite locations in the game. During my standard difficulty, that's where I derailed. So that was fun. We've got a 50 limit here. So yeah, that was fun, yeah. So we derailed the 282 along with basically a set of cars. And I think we recovered because we had the DH4 along with us as well, which was our recovery loco. We're currently driving the demonstrator DH4, by the way, with the beautiful fresh interior and the Derail Valley paintwork job on the outside. You can see there's a difference between this one and this one, which is, you know, she's doing a great job, but the paintwork is leaves a lot to be desired. But yeah, we dumped the unfortunately the 282 coming out of the tunnel, and yeah, ended up in the water, probably down there to be fair, depending on where we are. Probably pretty much approaching where we were, to be fair. Just ease back. Yeah, we've got a 60 limit on the switch, so we are just approaching that now. But we're going straight, so we should be alright here, he says. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was down there actually where the 282 ended up. Okay, 60 limit. Let's put a bit of dynamic brake on. Oh yeah, because we actually, so we were supposed to come around here, we ended up going down there under the bridge and into the water down there, which was, yeah, it was eventful to say the least, and but didn't really take away from the enjoyment, to be fair. We still managed to recover with the DH4, and we went on to, we re-railed and went on to a food factory in town where we repaired 282. Quite easily as well, without much drama, and despite the loss of the job, we still managed to do a pretty good job, to be fair. Alright, so we're now just cruising along, 55. We'll put a tiny bit of power on. We are going to be taking a right towards Machine Factory in town soon. Once we get past this piece of track, we'll pass over the water and then take a right and then head up this way. That's when we're going to need our power on to get up that hill. But yeah, we'll be, I can't imagine having any issues here. Hopefully I haven't spoken too soon. Currently on 60 kilometers. Got a 70 limit, so we might as well just thrash it along here a bit. Nice and straight. Here's the bridge. Said nice and straight. It's actually not, is it? And it's an 80 limit now, so not a problem. So here's another bridge. This is probably the bridge, isn't it? This is probably the bridge. That was a bridge. This is the bridge, I think, now. Maybe? Well, there is two, to be fair. So there's a turn, and I think there's maybe... Whoops. There's maybe another bridge here as well. Yeah, and then we've got the switch. So it's 60 limit. Oops. They always fall down that hole. Not too sure what it'll be for us here, actually, taking this turn. But here's the beautiful big bridge. So yeah, a couple of bridges there, actually. Very nice. Right, so it's 50 for us. And we're going 45 now, so that's absolutely perfect. In fact, we can put a tiny bit of throttle on. Bit more. Bit more. Bit more. More still. Alright, here we go. 100-kilometer limit. And we are heading uphill here, so let's open her up. $45. Yeah, so we will be picking up the DE6 from this location, by the way. I think that's an important step, and we've also got the SO60 to pick up. The ones that we're missing are the DM3 and the 282. Be interesting to see where they are, to be fair. I think that we'll be... It'd be interesting to see if they're up here, let's put it that way, because there's 3 stations up here that we haven't been to yet. We dumped all of our locos here at the end of the standard difficulty playthrough, so I think it'd be interesting to see if there's any that's there. Especially if it's a 282. We drove it off the end of the track, like Mission Impossible. Made it a bit of a joke, but it's... Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if there's anything down there now in that ravine, in the actual mining area itself. Okay, we're into the red marginally. Not too concerned about that. Let's keep it going. Okay, we're up to 50, so actually we'll just ease back a tiny bit now. We are actually coming into Machine Factory now, so just ease it back a bit. Again, just easing back. Nice and easy. Alright then. Let's follow the track round. Nice and easy does it. And there we go. Again, I'm falling down the hole. Right, let's just kill off the throttle and we'll get ourselves into the correct lane here. We are coming in nice and fast, but it's not going to harm. Going about 36 kilometers there. So I'm going to just get ourselves in here. So C4I again. Yep, that's correct. So here she comes. And there we have it. she's in. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the parking brake on. Because if you actually look at the back of it, it says to complete the order, insert this booklet into the nearest order validator. But it also says delivered cars must all be at the destination track with at least one handbrake applied. So, I do want to shunt this job and offload it. Now, I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, and somebody actually replied to this as well the other day, that I would like to see a new type of job included in the further update where, ooh, nice 54,000 there by the way, where you actually are able to, just pick that back up a sec, deliver and shunt and get sort of a double job without having to put it in there first, put it in that lane, like deliver it, get paid, and then find the shunting job, because there will be one here now. And there she is. So, this one's coming from Goods Factory in town. This is the job that we're looking at. Let's just have a quick look, see what else there is while we're here. There's a run to harbour, more food factory stuff. What's that one? Another shunting job, that's an offload. Might consider that at some point, but this is the one we're going to be doing. There's a City South run there. Whoa, 56,000. I think we'll do that. Deliver new cars. Yes, we will do that, but not just yet. We'll do this first. So let's go and get this into the loading bay. Now, we're doing two things here. We are going to pull this set of cars that we've just brought in, into the loading bay. So we're looking at MFSU38, which is what these are. So we'll pull these forward, but we're also here to pick up the DE2 traction motor, remember. So we've got the flat bed there, the short car, and that's going to be what we're utilising for this. So we're going to do two things once we get into the loading bay. We're going to offload this job, and we're going to load the traction motor. I'm just going to jump on the back there, I won't. And there's the cars that we'll be taking. So great to see them. That's a very nicely paid job, and that's exactly what I was looking for. I was hoping for something nicely paid. But on the way to City South, I do want to pick up those two locos. So we'll just get our switches sorted now to go into the loading bay, and that's going to do it. And yeah, basically we just need to get everything in here. And I may even consider a switch of locos. I mean, I'll take our own DH4, but I might consider taking a different locomotive out of here with those cars on the way to get the DE6 and the SO60. So they're at Coal Power Plant, and the SO60 is at City West, which I must remember to pick up the key as well when we get there. So these are in. Actually, what we'll do, we won't forget, we'll go and validate the shunting job. Like that. Whoops. So yeah, so we could potentially earn 28 plus a time bonus. So we've picked it up. We've brought it into the loading bay, and then we're going to offload. We'll firstly just do the offloading bit. Where's the machine gone? Oh, it's down here. There it is. Right. Let's offload first. Whoops. So there we go. So no animation, but they are being offloaded. And down there we do have an empty flat car that will now load. So we'll just wait for this to clear. There we go. And then load. And there we see train fully loaded. So we should now have the traction motor on there, which it now is. There we go. Alright, so now it's just a case of offloading. So what are we doing with that? So we've got a bunch of cars going to B6S. We've got one going to B1S. Sorry, two going to B1S. Ah, and this one closest to us is going to C2S. So this car is going in C yard. So we're already in C yard. So we're in C1, I believe. C1L. C2S is right next to us. So it's just this front one going there. Okay, that's a bit of a little bit of a nuisance, but not the end of the world. We'll just pull forward a little bit here. What I'll do is I'll just stop these cars here. Should be fine, and I'll just put this parking brake on. And what we'll do is just pull this one forward on its own into the right bay. It's the switch here we want. Alright, so I was gonna actually just send the car in there, but I won't. I'll do it gently. Just do it nice and steady, no stress. Okay, so that's all good. Put the parking brake on there. And forward. And there we go. Right, we're going to grab these again. And then we'll see where we're going next. It's going to be the B yard, but we're just going to see which lane we're going into. Maybe just knock that just a tiny bit too much. That'll do it. This is the hardest bit, when you've got two of these hanging down. Just trying to be exactly in the right place. Alright, so we know we're going over to the other yard, so let's pull all the way forward. We're going to have to go all the way down here to this switch. And then we'll just have a look. So we've done that one. So we've got these lot now. So B1 and B6. Basically, I think opposite ends of the B yard. So got that to contend with as well. But Alright, so we've got CBX 189 here, which is not that one. So CBX 189, so 254, yes. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which will leave 2. So 354, sorry, 345, I mean. Going into B6S. So we're now going to reverse up. Whoops, that's taken. Ah, going the wrong way there, sorry. So B yard. Let's just swing around here. Oh, so we're at this end. Wonder if there's anything in that lane. Let's have a quick look and then we'll consider our options, because we could do a little push here. A push and release. Right, we don't want to bash those cars, but I think 6... Yeah, 6 is empty, so... see if we can manage this. So, we are going backwards. We'll release the brake. Get all that brake released off. And hopefully not roll. Right, so these two are going elsewhere, but 345 was the one, the end one. So, let's see if it'll let us do this. I'm going to close these valves. And we'll see if we can push these cars, because the brake's released now, right? It certainly is. That actually worked that time. Sometimes it doesn't. Alright, they're on the move. Alright, I want to get up on there. Okay, this could be problematic. We're on. So I'm just putting the train brake on the rest of the cars now, so that we can go into the lane that we need to be in. But while they come into a stop, we'll continue on and watch as we go into our elected lane. I'm going to get ready to open this valve and let all the brake pressure out. I think that's about perfect, to be fair. Yep, spot on. Right. Parking brake on. They're in. So that just leaves 2, which are going into 1S, right? B1S, 798 and 164. Let's go and have a look at those then. 798 and 164. So same again. Although what I'm going to do is get our switches right, and that's it. So not as big a push this time, but I'm going to release the brakes first. Get all that brake pressure out. And open this. Same again with the pushback here. And train independent brake on now. Could have used train brake, to be fair, but bring us to a nice stop. Same action again here. Alright, I'm just going to check one thing. Make sure I put the parking brake on this one. I can't remember if I did. I did. Right, okay. Let's go get paid. So we did that pretty quick, to be fair. And there we go. Yeah, 42.2 and 11 minutes. I think that's pretty good. We've now got 413. We've got our DH4, which is racking up fees. And yeah, I'm happy with that, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Our DH4s are actually in the position now where we're able to take them down for manual service. So I think that will be our next step, where we just cruise on down there. In fact, I'll set this switch just to make sure I don't forget. And basically head down there and then head off to the service area. We'll get them paid off and then we'll see what locos are available in the shed as well. Just going to stick on the parking brake for the time being, like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, please do hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe to the channel. And yeah, hit me up in the comment section, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what your favourite locomotive is and which one you've spent the most time with, if it isn't the DE6. But otherwise, guys, please do take care of yourselves. And I'll catch you guys again soon.